Hey everyone, welcome back to CS Learning. I hope you're all doing great. Today, we're diving into the world of sniffers, one of the most dangerous tools in cyber attacks. We'll cover how they work, which protocols are vulnerable, common attack techniques like ARP poisoning, MAC flooding, and DNS spoofing, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Let's get started.
What is sniffing? Sniffing is the process of capturing data packets as they travel through a network. Attackers use sniffers, either software or hardware, to intercept and analyze network traffic. This is especially easy in shared network environments where traffic is broadcasted to all devices. Even in switched networks, attackers can use techniques like ARP poisoning to redirect traffic to themselves. Protocols susceptible to sniffing. Some network protocols transmit data in plain text, making them easy targets for sniffers. These include 1. HTTP. Websites without HTTPS expose login credentials and sensitive data. 2. Telnet, used for remote access but transmits passwords in plain text. 3. FTP, transfers files insecurely, allowing attackers to capture usernames and file contents. 4. SMTP, sends emails in plain text, exposing login details. 5. POP3 IMAP, retrieves emails but often transmits credentials unencrypted. Real-world impact. Attackers can capture passwords, emails, and personal data from unsecured protocols. Protocols less susceptible to sniffing. Encrypted protocols help secure network traffic. 1. HTTPS encrypts web communication using SSL/TLS. 2. SSH secures remote access. 3. SFTP/FTPS encrypts file transfers. 4. VPN creates an encrypted tunnel to protect all network traffic. Using these protocols minimizes the risk of data interception. Ethical hacking, context, and mitigation. While sniffing can be used maliciously, ethical hackers leverage it for penetration testing, simulating attacks to find vulnerabilities. Security audits, reviewing network configurations, intrusion detection, monitoring for unauthorized access. Mitigation strategies include encryption, strong passwords, network segmentation, and intrusion detection systems. Passive sniffing. Passive sniffing involves silently capturing network traffic without injecting any packets. Works in shared network environments like hubs or unsecured wireless networks. Difficult to detect since it doesn't interfere with network operations. Example, an attacker connects to a hub-based network and captures all traffic without being noticed. Active sniffing. Active sniffing manipulates network traffic to capture data that wouldn't normally be accessible. Techniques include ARP poisoning, redirects traffic by sending fake ARP messages. MAC flooding, overloads a switch, forcing it to broadcast traffic. DHCP spoofing, creates a rogue DHCP server to manipulate traffic flow. Example, an attacker using ARP poisoning to intercept login credentials. Comparison of active and passive sniffing feature. Passive sniffing, active sniffing, packet injection. No, yes, detection difficult, easier. Network type hub Wi-Fi, unencrypted. Switched networks, complexity, simple. Complex. Mitigation strategies include using switched networks, encryption, and intrusion detection systems. ARP poisoning. ARP poisoning is an attack that redirects network traffic by sending fake ARP responses. Process. 1. Attacker sends forged ARP replies, claiming their MAC address is that of a trusted device. 2. Victim updates their ARP cache with false data. 3. All traffic meant for the trusted device now goes to the attacker. Example, an attacker intercepts login credentials by redirecting traffic. ARP poisoning variants. 1. Gateway poisoning. Attacker poisons all clients, capturing internet-bound traffic. 2. Host poisoning. Targets specific devices to intercept direct communication. Mitigation. Use static ARP entries for critical devices. Enable dynamic ARP inspection to verify ARP packets. Monitor networks for unusual ARP activity. MAC flooding. MAC flooding exploits a switch's memory limits. Process. 1. Attacker sends thousands of fake MAC addresses. 2. The switch's MAC table overflows, forcing it to broadcast all traffic. 3. The attacker can now passively sniff all data. Example, an attacker floods a switch to capture credentials. Mitigation. Use port security, limit MAC addresses per port, and enable intrusion detection systems, IDS. MAC flooding forces a switch to behave like a hub, exposing all network traffic. Advantages for attackers: simple to execute, enables passive sniffing even on switched networks. Disadvantages for attackers: can be detected with network monitoring tools. Modern switches have larger cam tables, making attacks harder. Example: an attacker floods a switch with fake MAC addresses to intercept sensitive data. Mitigation: enable port security, limit MAC addresses per port, and deploy intrusion detection systems (IDS). Comparison of ARP poisoning and MAC flooding. Feature ARP poisoning. MAC flooding targets specific hosts or the gateway. The switch itself. Effect: redirects traffic to attacker, turns switch into a hub. Broadcasting detection. Possible with ARP inspection. Possible with network monitoring. Complexity: moderate, simple. Both attacks can be mitigated with port security, ARP inspection, and IDS solutions. Ethical hack: test security via ARP poison MAC flood. Mitigate: static ARP, port security, DHCP snooping, DIE 802.1x for pen tests, audits, and vuln scans. Introduction to DNS spoofing. DNS, domain name system, translates domain names into IP addresses. DNS spoofing, DNS poisoning, is an attack where an attacker manipulates DNS records to redirect users to malicious sites. Real-world impact: users trying to visit a trusted site, e.g. a bank, are redirected to a phishing site. Attackers steal credentials, distribute malware, or perform censorship attacks. How DNS works: 1. User enters a website address, e.g. example.com. 2. Browser queries a DNS resolver to find the IP address. 3. The resolver contacts authoritative DNS servers to get the correct IP. 4. The resolved IP is sent back to the browser. 5. The browser connects to the server at that IP. DNS spoofing manipulates this process by poisoning the resolver or modifying records to misdirect users. DNS spoofing techniques. Cache poisoning. DNS cache poisoning. Attackers inject fake DNS records into a resolver's cache. This makes all users relying on the poisoned resolver get incorrect IP addresses. Affected users are unknowingly redirected to malicious sites. Kaminsky attack, 2008. A high-profile DNS poisoning vulnerability that exploited weak transaction IDs. Led to major security improvements in DNS resolvers. Mitigation. DNSSEC, DNS security extensions, ensures authenticity of DNS responses. Randomized query IDs, prevents forged responses from matching. Regularly patching DNS servers fixes vulnerabilities. DNS spoofing, local host file poisoning, local DNS poisoning, host file manipulation. The attacker modifies the host file on a target's machine to override DNS lookups. Instead of querying a DNS server, the system follows the attacker's modified entries. Example: a Trojan modifies the host file to redirect users trying to access facebook.com to a phishing page. Mitigation: restrict host file modifications. Use endpoint security solutions to detect tampering. Monitor host file integrity. DNS server compromise. If an attacker gains control of a DNS server, they can modify records to redirect traffic to malicious websites, cause widespread disruption, affecting all users relying on that server. Example: a hacker compromises a company's DNS server and redirects all employee logins to a fake authentication page to steal credentials. Mitigation: use strong access controls to prevent unauthorized modifications. Regularly audit DNS configurations. Monitor DNS activity for anomalies. Farming attacks. Farming combines DNS spoofing with other techniques like malware or phishing to redirect users to malicious websites. Example: a large-scale phishing campaign combined with DNS cache poisoning targets bank customers, leading them to enter credentials on a fake site. Mitigation: use DNSSEC to verify domain authenticity. Regularly scan and patch DNS servers to prevent compromise. Educate users on detecting phishing attempts. Ethical hacking and mitigation for DNS spoofing. Ethical use of DNS spoofing, penetration testing, testing DNS security. Security awareness training, educating users on risks. Malicious use, phishing attacks, redirecting users to fake websites. Censorship and surveillance, governmental DNS manipulation. Denial of service, DOS, disrupting access to legitimate websites. Mitigation, DNSSEC, cryptographic authentication of DNS responses. DNS over HTTPS, DOH, and DNS over TLS, DOT. Encrypt DNS queries. Monitor DNS traffic for anomalies. Sniffing countermeasures, encryption. Encryption is the most effective way to prevent sniffing attacks. Even if data is intercepted, encryption makes it unreadable. Key encryption techniques: HTTPS encrypts web traffic using TLS SSL. SSH secures remote terminal sessions. VPNs encrypt all network traffic for secure communication. WPA2 WPA3 encrypts wireless network traffic to prevent sniffing. Example: accessing online banking via HTTPS ensures that even if an attacker sniffs the traffic, they cannot read sensitive information. Sniffing countermeasures: switched networks. Unlike hubs, switches forward traffic only to the intended recipient, making passive sniffing difficult. Advantages: prevents attackers from seeing all traffic on a network segment. Disadvantages: not immune to active sniffing techniques like AR poisoning. Example: an attacker on a hub-based network can see all traffic, but on a switched network, they need additional techniques like ARP spoofing.
Sniffing countermeasures. Port security. Port security limits the number of MAC addresses allowed per switch port. Benefits: prevents unauthorized devices from connecting. Helps mitigate MAC flooding attacks. Limitations: can be bypassed using MAC spoofing if not properly configured. Example: a company configures its switches to allow only specific MAC addresses, preventing unauthorized laptops from connecting and sniffing traffic. Sniffing countermeasures, MAC filtering and ARP inspection. MAC filtering allows only specific MAC addresses to connect to the network. Pros: prevents unauthorized device access. Cons: can be bypassed by MAC spoofing. ARP inspection validates ARP packets to prevent ARP poisoning attacks. Pros: protects against one of the most common sniffing techniques. Cons: requires configuration on network devices. Example: a company implements dynamic ARP inspection (DAI) to prevent ARP spoofing, blocking attackers from redirecting traffic. Sniffing countermeasures, IDS/IPS and network segmentation. Intrusion detection/prevention systems, IDS/IPS. Monitors network traffic and detects suspicious activity, including sniffing attempts. Network segmentation. Divides a network into smaller sections to limit attack impact. Example: a penetration tester attempts ARP poisoning but is blocked because the network has IDS detecting abnormal ARP activity. Final summary: sniffing can be used for both ethical and malicious purposes. Passive sniffing is harder to detect but limited in scope. Active sniffing is more aggressive and can target switched networks. Encryption is the best defense against sniffing. Network security measures, IDS, ARP inspection, VPNs, etc., help prevent attacks.